Hi, how you doing? Yes, it's me, Wilson. Okay, so today what we're going to speak about is the morning flow state priming routine. Long word for just saying morning routine. I want to emphasize the flow state and priming because that's really the purpose of this morning routine. You see, the potential for you to be triggered into flow every day is there. You can be in flow no matter what you're doing. So the potential is there, but what's holding you back is yourself. You see, when you're in flow, there's a coherence between your autonomic nervous system. There is that sympathetic and parasympathetic coherence that goes on, that dance between those two systems. However, most people are too much one or the other. In general, more people wake up stressed or have not recovered properly from the stress before, which means that they've woken up with an invisible blindfold on that's stopping them from being triggered into flow with whatever you're doing. So this morning routine is to set you up, to set yourself up to allow life to trigger you into flow. Okay, now of course the skill and task that you're pursuing to be in an optimal state all the time will be second nature when you've primed yourself to be triggered into flow. So the importance of this morning routine is very important. Okay, so let's begin with it. The first thing and the real secret with the morning routine is it starts at the night. It's when you go to sleep. Now, you want to go to sleep 90 minutes. You want to prepare for sleep 90 minutes before you go to bed. So with the preparation, you can read more about in my book Ride the Wave of Sleep, about the preparation to go to bed. But basically what you want to do is minimize your blue light, the blue light in front of you. So your laptop, your phone, your TV, your lights. The reason being is because naturally our bodies align with the circadian rhythms. So that means that when the sun goes up and when the sun goes down, our body reacts to that. So when the sun begins to go down, our pituitary gland releases melatonin, saying to us, okay, it's time to go to sleep, and it allows us to drift off to sleep. When we surround ourselves with that excess blue light, our bodies think it's still daytime. So it doesn't release that melatonin, which gives us a bit of difficulty going to sleep. Therefore, we do not allow ourselves to recover properly. Sleep is the magic medicine. The problem is we're not doing it correctly. We're not doing it effectively. Now, there's more details in going to sleep and how to do that. I know it sounds crazy, but it's not as straightforward as you think. But I don't want to discuss too much of that today. I want you to emphasize just preparing 90 minutes before. Now, there is a little hack for that, because I'm guilty for watching Netflix, okay? So what we have blue light blocking glasses. We put them on, watch Netflix. Now, obviously, before we go to sleep, we still turn everything off and we prepare for that, but we're minimizing that blue light effect, okay? So the blue blocking glasses, not easy for me to say, obviously, is the top tip for here. Now, you'll also notice this grounding. I sleep, and I strongly recommend you sleeping on a grounding bed sheet. A grounding bed sheet will earth you, which will allow you to connect to the energy of the earth. Now, it might sound too hippy-dippy, but basically what you're wanting to do is connect to the electromagnetic frequency of the earth. Everything has an electromagnetic frequency. Your computer, your phone, your TV, the Wi-Fi, everything around it, there's this smog of EMF around us. Our body, our brains, everything vibrates at a certain frequency, okay? Now, we know by now that the flow state resonates at a certain frequency. We know it's between a 7 and 8. The more information, it seems to be tuning in to the Schumann frequency, which is the Earth's magnetic frequency, which is around 7.83 Hertz. That's changed. So when you ground yourself, you're grounding yourself to the Earth's magnetic frequency. You are sleeping in the electromagnetic frequency of flow. Okay, that's one thing, but there's so many juices involved with grounding, so many benefits that you need to get a grounding bed sheet. I don't recommend it anymore. You need to get a grounding bed sheet. Okay, I think there's a wee mistake there, as you can probably tell. I'm going to change the colour as well here just to make it even more. So it's not your walk time, it's your wake time. When you wake up, 90 minutes before. Now, why so much of this 90 minutes, Wilson? Well, our bodies, when we go to sleep, we go through 5 stages of sleep. You know, you've heard of REM sleep, light sleep, deep sleep, everything. Well, they're all broken down into different stages. And there is 5 of those, and it takes us 90 minutes to go through one of those cycles. So all of those stages of sleep will cause one cycle. It takes 90 minutes to do that. So what I'm beginning to get you tuned into is going to sleep and waking up through these cycles. But we'll cover more of that in another video. You can read more about it in the Right Wave of Sleep today. Okay, so the wake time is important. So you're waking up at this 90 minutes before you leave to go to work, or before you start your work if it's in the house or you have to commute somewhere. 90 minutes before. 90 minutes to sharpen the mind-body weapon for the day, priming yourself for the day. Remember, you already started the night before with the grounding bed sheet, going to sleep at that time, waking up at that time. Now, why are we waking up so early? Because we're going to go through these parts here, which is better if I show you here. Hopefully you can see that with the light. Part 1, boom. That's where you take your heart rate variability. Heart rate variability, you should know what that is by now. If you're following me, heart rate variability, you want to take that measurement in the morning. So HRV is really important because it's going to be our guide for how our day will adapt. If your heart rate variability is saying, go for it, Wilson, then you adapt your day accordingly. If it's saying, take it easy, Wilson, then you adapt your day accordingly. Okay? This is how you're going to prime yourself to be attuned to flow and allow yourself to recover effectively and allow yourself to be primed all the time. Okay, so part 1 has your HRV, it takes 1 minute. Then you have your breathing exercises. Now it depends, when you spoke to me, you'll have your own specific breathing exercises. But the breathing routine is a combination of a breathing meditation where you're following your breath for 1 minute. How many breaths do you do? And you're trying to get as low a number as you can. The other one is with breath holds and the exhalation. Everything's done through the nose. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Hold your breath. And then breathe again. Do that 3 times and then you'll do a 1 minute breath again. It's a rough idea of the breathing and flow exercises that you would do here, but again, this is going to be tailored for your specific needs. Next is the meditation. Meditation, I hope I spelled that correct. Okay, so with the meditation, the instant flow meditation is what you're going to be doing here. The reason for that is you're solidifying the intention, the purpose. Why are you doing this? With the instant flow meditation, you are meditating and connecting to the sensation, the feeling of what it is like to be in flow. That there is your beacon, your lighthouse directing you in your life's purpose or whatever you're wanting to get more flow into. Is this here that's critical for you to move forwards. Okay, so that is part 1. Part 2 here, physical movements. So the motivational movements is designed in a way where you have a combination of body weight exercises and sort of mind triggering present exercises. Not as in present as in Santa Claus has been early, as in the present as in presence, in the moment of being in deep now. So the physical meditations, the movement meditations, has to be designed specifically to your own requirements and has to be in coherence with your heart rate variability of that day. Okay, that is very important. Some days you can do very light activities, other days you might want to do more dynamic, extreme activities with a combination of, for instance, the juggling or the boxing tennis ball or some alphabet games or some other activities to get you mentally switched on. So there's a dance, there's a sort of physicality, and then there's a more mental side. Physical, mental, is that juggle between those two, like a mini motivational circuit. Part 3 is the process of learning. Now with this here, what I do is I listen to audiobook on, and go for a walk. What I'm learning determines, well, not doesn't determine it, it depends on what I'm doing that month. So for instance, if I'm researching some new material, if I am researching more material, that's what I do. Okay, then I'll put the headphones on and go for a walk. Sometimes, as I'm trying to speak a lot better Italian, I will sit and go through some of my Italian. So I'll go that in the learning process. Okay, and then everything is topped off with a nice freezing cold shower. Okay, this here is between 1 to 3 minutes to get your vagus nerve stimulated, which helps you be in a more parasympathetic state. That is the real key with the cold showers. It also kicks your ass into gear, and there's so many lessons in stepping into that cold shower that I don't want to spoil the fun for you. Okay, so that there is the ultimate morning routine to get you into the flow state. Everything here has to be personalized. There is a basic foundation for it all, but you have to walk this path in order to know what's correct for you to get yourself primed into flow. So here we have it, the morning flow state priming routine. Enjoy. Ciao.